In Kabbalah, the structure of reality is defined by circular, concentric, geometric diagrams. These, for me, are reminiscent of molecules, DNA strands, suns, planets, solar systems that form and sustain life. My name's Lauren Berkowitz. I'm an installation artist. I've been creating site-specific works for almost 3 decades now. And the works I've created for the National, Fragile Ecologies, which is behind me, and Plastic Topographies, which is in the corridor of the MCA galleries. That work has been created on site over a 4-day period, and the work behind me has been created over a 6-month period. Both works are in dialogue with each other, and I've had a long-term interest in my Jewish heritage, and they both are steeped in the imagery of Jewish mysticism, also known as Kabbalah, and the abstract imagery which is connected with that theology. Jewish Kabbalistic text, the Zohar, describes the dynamic creation of the universe and everything in it. All animate and inanimate matter in existence is inextricably linked as a chain. Also known as the Book of Radiance, it articulates poetic visions of illuminated vessels, radiant colours emanating from sparks of light, and luminous shoots gushing as cascading water and rivers of light. In the beginning, when the world came into existence, in fact it was almost like a big bang. It talks about gossamer lights. So I think that's kind of quite an interesting kind of connection. What we have here are colour fields, and the way I use the plastic and each individual lid, they were almost like spots of pigment. The work is quite painterly, and you have the transitions of colours in the work. There's also a connection in the elements of fire, earth, air and water. There's also interesting ideas of creation, destruction and rehabilitation. For the work Plastic Topographies, there is a very interesting interplay between the outside world, looking through the window, and the artwork. Also, I think people will be aware of the changing seasons over the next 4 or 5 months. So what goes on behind the window and the changing light will be quite interesting within that work. I'm interested in the dialogue of plastic which has infiltrated our waterways, the air, our landscape. It's even infiltrated our bodies. My materials are collected through quite a long process of accumulation. I enlist family and friends and collective groups to become involved with my projects. Even the MCA was very active in collecting all their plastic waste, and I'm interested in the Jewish concept of tikkun olam, which is about small gestures, actions and deeds which people can do to repair and rehabilitate the damage to our world. My work explores the poetic resonance of materials and the different narratives and stories that they often evoke. If you look carefully at the containers, they all have their use-by dates stamped on them, and it's ironic because these are single-use items, yet they kind of live in the environment forever and they don't biodegrade. So in a sense, you've got this strange kind of dichotomy between permanence and impermanence, and transience and, something that just remains forever. There are also works which are quite evocative and very open to interpretation, and I hope that people will consider the amount of plastic in their lives and hopefully will reduce the amount of plastic they're consuming in their everyday lives.